Welcome everybody to MCL game between the EVS C versus DoD C. This is game 1 on the map Megalopolis, and let's take a quick look at the composition here. I need to swap this. So DoD on the right, EVS on the left. So we have Alex playing Thor. He's made an armory, so nothing crazy over there. Then in the center we have Leons playing Poseidon. And on the right we have Wilfor playing Gaia. And he opted to use his Gaia first on his own base. I do like this nice defensive position for a gold mine, but I would have also liked him giving the gold mine to his allies, because they can the Gaia first to his allies, because they can really need it a lot more. It's much more convenient for them than for Gaia. On the other side we have GrC Shooter playing Poseidon. We have Haltma Kurtz playing Zeus. And on the left side we have the Dark Soul playing Hades. So the entire Greek lineup on the left side and a mixed lineup on the right side. Temple coming up for the Dark Soul. Anything else? Well, that makes sense. He's Hades, so he's doing Vault of Erebus build. Let's speed up through the early game. So I'm not sure what the deal is here. 3 Greeks can do a rush, but then again this is Megalopolis, so they are very close to each other. So I have no idea. Temple coming up for the GrC Shooter. Is anybody aging up yet? Not yet. Another temple up for so where am I spectating? Oh, GrC Shooter now aging up through Hermes. Oh no, Leons is aging up through Hermes. As is GrC Shooter, I'd imagine. Yes. And the Zeus player is aging up through Athena. The Hades player as well. Wilfor is aging up through Oceanus, and Alex is still not aging up, but he is Thor. He's now aging up. Let's take a quick look for Seti. So no big surprise there. So I'm wondering, with double Athena plus Hermes, well, the Hermes is so nice for Poseidon because you do get the centaurs and whatnot, but they could have done double Athena and Ares for a rush, but that does not appear to be their strategy. Over here on the DoD side, walls are coming up, and a second town center is being grabbed by Wilfor. I do like the Gaia Forest for protection here, but it is being scouted by Haltma Kurtz. Leon's also finishing his second town center. And on the other side we see a second town center by the Dark Soul as well. So it appears to be a boomy game. Armory already coming up for the Dark Soul, so no early game shenanigans. Centaur raid coming in, but let's see how much damage. Atalanta is picking up an Oracle. Not a lot of damage going on, just a bit of poking. These Galaria can keep the units alive. And on the left side, a bit of poking with these hoplites against the infantry, but once again healing is there to help. The Dark Soul also now taking... GrC Shooter's now also taking a town center. That's probably as a response to the opponent taking town centers as well. Meanwhile, Alex is happily walling the entire map. Not sure if I like this wall, to be honest, or he should have just continued with connecting forests, but well. So now they're poking at the center. Yeah, thanks, Alex. The Rex are of course named back to front. So 0 being the newest. Caladria coming down. Not sure if this was strictly necessary, but then again, they're not like very expensive god powers. House being harassed. And now Alex is also grabbing his backward town center. Bolt being used? I'm not sure on what. Was it a myth unit over here? I missed it. Alex now going on the herdables. So far the EVS has been on the offensive and DoD on the defense, but they are a bit ahead in terms of villager count, but not by much. Because it's now 6 versus 6 town centers. So here we have the first age up. Going Apollo. Dark Soul. Yeah, he has been pretty much AFK for most of the fighting part of the game, so that makes sense. And he did put up his army quite early, so I think a faster work was always his plan, and maybe they're going to use the underworld on the back of the DoD's base. Or are everybody happily playing the macro game and walling up? I'm not sure about these farms though. Never seems worth it to make it there, just move them over here. Also has a bunch of idle villagers. So now what is he going to do now that it's in a heroic age? He does have a lot of food. Will he go straight to the Mythic age and get like Forge of Festus going on? Or will he do a underworld into Sentinel and a fortress maybe? Have to see. Gonna speed up a bit. Nothing really is happening at this point. Hoplites being chased away by Berserk. Crazy Shooter advanced through Aphrodite. And Wulfor is now aging up through Thea. Forward Fortress, just claiming this gold mine. Maybe with some pressure he could, the DoD guys could have forced a defensive sentinel here. Another forward fortress. And the Dark Soul is already going up to the Mythic Age, so that was definitely his plan. I think he'll add some additional armories. He has 2 already. I think he'll make some more. Well, a bit of skirmishing at the center with infantry. Leon's is now aging up to Dionysus. And Alex. Skadi. And I like the Skadi pick. Just helps shutting everything down in Underworld or whatever they've got planned. So, heavy boom game. Numbers are looking good for DoD, but with so many god powers unused, it can go anyway. And Holt McCourt is also aging up to the heroic age. A bit late, but then again he made a bunch of hoplites, also going up through Dionysus. I do hear a duck. I wonder who made a duck. Alex. Interesting. Guess it doesn't hurt. Is he gonna make a transport ship? He is. Okay, so he's gonna do the side builds. I really like that plan. Very good. Plentyfold being used. I imagine he'll just kill this Kraken. Who knows? And Wolfer happily creeping forward with palaces. Meanwhile, Crazy Shooter already aging up also through Hephaestus. It's interesting that the flanks are booming and aging up fast, and the pocket is busy fighting in the classical age with these hoplites. I think that could have switched it around in terms of positioning. But side build complete. Longhouse is now being dropped by Alex. And he's fighting this army, but I think he can take care of it. So it appears to be a bit of a 1v1 on the left side and a 2v2 on the north side. Northeast side. Ceasefire being used. That was a bit premature. But then again, he does have 2 armies on his doorstep, so I can imagine that he wants his ally to join and to... he's busy pumping units, because he did go to the Mythic age. So he's pretty far behind in terms of army size. But if he can hold on for long enough here, I'd imagine he asks his Hades ally for a sentinel here, perhaps. If he can hold on and get his army upgrades in, that should be a great way to proceed. Big skirmish at the center. Yeah, you don't really want to fight these hoplites with just Hippias, but now you got backup. And on the left side, the attacks are starting to come in, and just like I said, all these farms, it's just so much stuff wasted. Sentinel coming in now. Carnivore being used. Curse being used. Oh, big fight. First restoration. Yeah, I think the army size is just so much bigger, but they are at risk of over committing though, so they're not going back. I do like how the Zeus player is just making only hoplites. We used this strategy a very long time ago at the Yai clan, to just Zeus, Hades and Poseidon just make the one unit you're good at and do all fights in team composition. But now Petropolis coming in, taking care of the sentinels, and will now start sieging down the fortress. So big fight at the center. Still think they are overcommitting. Let's take a look at the left side. It appears that the Dark Souls now he took care of the side build, but a couple of berserks escaped and are now wreaking havoc on the backside. This is really the stuff that can carry these team games, not just a big fight on the forward side. Wilfa now in the Mythic age. I imagine he will use Implode over here soon. And Alex is also aging up through Tyr, no surprise there. And things are looking pretty good on this side actually. I hear another transport ship, nice. I think these berserks got denied, or they are still running around trying to go over there, but oh well, that's fine. Underworld now used. Where did they use it? Over here. So Dark Soul now on Wolf's backside. The sooner they can frost it, the better. Or implode it. But on the front side there's a big bronze push for Holt Makut. Trying to fend off this attack by DoD. So I wonder how DoD will take care of this. It's not that big of an army, but if you get it... Yeah, now it's frosted. Good job. Fimbulwinter coming in. And that really hurts on this map, because basically everywhere there are walls where your economy is. But these villages would have been safe, but... So, Moon spawned and took care of this attack. And at the center, DoD are just happily pushing further and further down on Crazy Shooter's doorstep. But they haven't taken care of this this underworld though, so I am not sure. Are they just going to do a base race? Where they... or are they taking care of this one? I really don't know. Could have also done a Ragnarok, but... because now there are also a bunch of Hippias by Alliance, but I don't think that's enough to deal with all these hoplites. It appears that Leons is now moving to take care of this, and Alex is now moving to the right to help push in the center. And they really ought to start grabbing these town centers. But, well. So Colossi taking care of this town center, and now a big fight at the center. Would have liked towers by Wolfor. It's getting masons, so that helps already. But yeah, if you can, if they get too much traction over this side, it's really going to hurt. I think this, taking care of this, really prioritize pushing over here. Because once that's done, and you can then start pushing forward again. So somebody aged up. Let's take a quick look. I think it was Leon's also to the Mythic Age. He still needs to use his Plenty Vault. So the only one not in the Mythic Age right now is Holtmar Goods, and he's busy making Hydra. And he's doing a good job. These Hydra are really cleaning up at the front. Implode now used on the front. Yeah, that'll deal some damage. So, big slide over here on the military count. Let's take a quick look how the Yeoman is doing. Not fighting back. Come on, little fella, just go there. Yeah, there we go. On the right side, Leon's, it appears to somewhat has repelled the attack. It's a bit weird, because Dark Soul does not appear to defend his underworld. Would have liked for him to use make a fortress or two and use Sentinel and whatnot just to keep a hold of this position. But oh well, now it has been taken care of. I'd imagine that Wolfer has taken some damage in terms of economy. Then again, these citizens have been farming away for forever, so that's a bit odd. But he'll just now get these town centers back. And he did grab some additional town centers at the front, so he should be fine. What's also noteworthy is that the DoD guys are starting a trade route, at least Leon's is. And so far I haven't seen a trade route by EVS yet, so gold may become an issue. Then again, there's so much gold on this map that it won't be an issue. Darkson now took his 4th town center, so he's really up for a good position. I think if the DoD guys give him too much time, then he will really steamroll on the left side. Second Frost now coming in, a defensive Frost, because, well, they were so busy defending that they had to give up some momentum on the front, but that's fine. Leons will now come back in. I see a ceasefire being used. I'm not sure why. Maybe because of this army on the side. That's a bit odd, to be honest. Side built by Alex. Well, let's see how they will continue. Big fight now in the center. Really hard to tell, but I really like how the DoD placed their units in between the buildings. And these Hippias do such a good job tanking, because you got all the upgrades aligned. You got the Thracian horses, you got the Lord of Horses and Spirited Charge, a bunch of armory upgrades, so yeah, there's are some tanky cavalry units. So, DoD once again on the offensive. And all quiet on the western front. Nothing happening here. Let's take a quick look at the resources. Heals is stacked, as is Alex. Wolfer not so much, so I would have liked the DoD guys to give Wolfer some resources. So he could get full pop as well. Ooh, Hetaroi. Oh yeah, Promos. Very cool. The right side, fortress being denied. Gaia first used? I wonder where he used it. Maybe somewhere forth? Very forward Gaia Force to protect the Hill Fort. Interesting to see. Not sure if it will help much, because I do hear some Protopoli on the left side. But Leons is now fully taking possession of the middle of the map, and he is pushing on the left. So it appears that Alex and Leons is doing a bit of a switcheroo. Leons playing on the left and Alex playing on the right, but he's really cleaning up here with all these Heliopoli. So things are looking better and better for the DoD clan. Alex is really fortifying this position. Would have liked to see some additional ballista, because that's what you really want to do. Once you get to this area, then things start falling apart, because then you can get the plentiful and all that good stuff. Champion Catapultist. Interesting that he's still milking Catapultist at this point of the game. But yeah, fighting, another side built by Alex. Honestly, if they can wall off this position, yeah, they don't have a trade route, but that would have been very strong. And yeah, Alex and Wolf are happily pushing on the right side. If they can grab this plentiful, then it's really, yeah, really helps. And if they can then grab this town center, I really like this tower spam, bit of an old school gameplay. And it's interesting, they let's take a quick look at the resource count for the EVS guys. So Dark Soul not broke. Crazy Shooter has a crazy amount of wood. Might want to sell some of that. And well, Holtmakoots doesn't have much either. I wonder if they, at any point of the game, they could have given him some resources to give that Hera. Like in that big fight over here, maybe the lightning storm could have made a difference. I think that's really something you need to look at in a team game, and if you can, yeah, contribute some resources, help each other out. But there's the first GG by Crazy Shooter, makes sense. And GG, game 1 done. Welcome everybody to game 2 of EVSC versus DoD C. Let's start with the players here. We have, I need to switch this actually, there we go. EVS on the left, DoD on the right. Over here we have Leons playing Odin. In the center we have Motoba playing Set. And on the top we have Alex playing Gaia. Once again, Gaia players being selfish and using trees on themselves. I would have really liked it if you use it on Leons. Simply because you can then skip an ox cart and get pickaxe super early. Any case, GrC Shooter playing Uranus on the top left. We have Hold Kurz playing Poseidon on the left. And on the bottom we have EVS Dark Soul once again playing Hades at the bottom on the left flank from DoD's perspective. So almost the same composition for EVS, except that Hold Kurz switched from Zeus to Poseidon and GrC Shooter opted for Uranus. Map is Giza, by the way, DoD's map. And you know, once again, early temple, just Hades doing Hades things. And I'm still surprised at their placement of the gods, actually, because you'd expect the Hades to go at the center and the Poseidon to go at the flank, so it can put early pressure. But maybe the idea is that the Poseidon player has the mobile army, so he can go help on the left side, help on the right side, assist where he's needed. And I'd imagine that Uranus is just going to do Uranus things. On the other side we have DoD with Gaia and Odin, so that always begs the question, are they going to do a burn rush, especially with the Set ally as well. They can do like some shifting sands, villager rush shenanigans, but I don't think they're gonna do that. I think they're just gonna do a you know, Murmillo spam rate or T2C boom from the Gaia, though I imagine a T2C boom for Motoba is more expected, being at the pocket. And Odin is likely going to raid with a bunch of raiding cavalry, so I'm just going to fast forward a bit here, because is that interesting. Uranus player already aging up to Oceanus, as is Hold Kurz through Hermes. It's annoying that they switched gods, but oh well, I have to deal with that. So early age up by EVS. Expect some early pressure. Let's see if the DoDs can handle that. So Alex aging up through Oceanus, and Motoba is aging up through Anubis. And now Leons is aging up through Heimdall. So interesting. Is he going to grab a second town center as well, or is he going to do it later? He really snatched that relic away. If this oracle was just too late heroizing, so that's unfortunately. So everybody in the classical age now, and let's see what's happening. So Centaur running by, looking for some pressure. Too much actually. Dark Soul is making 2 archery ranges, so no booming from him. Uranus player going for 2 military. So it appears to go infantry, cavalry, archery. Maybe that's their idea. Meanwhile, Leons is making a bunch of cavalry, just like expected. He did already pre-queue safeguard though, so I think he'll just raid and on the side start booming. And Hold Kurz is now pressuring Motoba. Maybe he wants to avoid him grabbing a second town center. I'm not sure what the idea is. Or maybe they want to turn it into 3 1v1s. But safeguard is now being researched. So I imagine we'll see some extra town centers soon. And the top side has been pretty quiet actually. It appears that GrC Shooter is now going for the south. I do like all these balls. They are discounted, so why not? And now a big army is forming at the left side. So the idea is... Oh, and 3 Elder Cyclops. So yeah, they really are basically doing a sort of all-in... Well, I won't say rush, but an all-in timing push with Archers, Murmillo and Hippias. So let's see if the DoD guys can defend this. They have no defensive gods, the low Sentinel, no Freyr. I told them to pick Hades or Freyr against them, but they didn't listen, apparently. But let's see how if they can deal with this. Pestilence now being used. Not sure why. There are no towers in, but I guess it does prevent them from trading additional units. So Shockwave now used. I do like how Leons is focusing on this army. And now help is coming in from Motoba. So no boomy game at all. And I think they'll hold this. Like, I've only Holt Marcus played Odin, then he could have made cavalry and used Undermine here. Now he's sitting on a ceasefire that's doing absolutely nothing for him. So it appears they've managed to hold this rush, also because of these priests holding, killing the Cyclops. So very good job. Maybe they scouted it before I did, the Cyclops, or maybe they saw that the Dark Soul aged up to Ares and expected something like this to happen. But good job on holding it. Snakes was also used defensively. I guess that that helps. So how would this continue? Because even though they managed to hold the push, they are only slightly ahead in terms of villagers and in terms of resource. So it's not an automatic auto win if they'll just continue. So are they going to follow up with a... will this now go into another boom fest where everybody grabs a second town center? Or will they go for a second all-in push? But I do like all these walls from Leons. He aged up to Heimdall, so these walls are very cheap. So he can wall everything off and be very happy and safe. Wait in the center is taking care of a few villagers, it appears, but anybody jumping in. Plus some spearmen. And some more Milo. So I wonder what the follow-up will be. More Elder Cyclops, so it appears they're just going for a second try. If it didn't work the first time, maybe just try another time. I would have liked for Alex to put at least some pressure on his opponent or on the center. Though Motoba is raiding with these spearmen, so that's nice. I always want to put some counter pressure because these villagers are all like super unprotected. Okay, look, he's already running, although he can't just jump in the sky passage, but that's still a nice pick. Forces a bunch of idle time. So now once again EVS on DoD's doorstep with a bigger army. Let's see if it works better the second time. Leons is raiding. They are a bit of out of position because this Motoba has spearmen over here and Leons has raiding cavalry over here, so they'll have a hard time defending against this. And he's not getting towers either, even though he has like safeguard towers that are super extra sturdy. It appears that Alex is aged up. And Leons has grabbed a second town center. And Alex is grabbing a second town center, so... but Leons did lose his forward town center. I do like how they not overcommitted on defending this. Like, you can walk in and take this fight, or accept that you're just not gonna win this with your army out of position and take the loss and play for the longer game. Because he did lose a town center, but I don't think he lost many villagers, because I think he just moved them all back. And he has a new town center, so it's basically net value 0. Although it is annoying that he's gonna lose a bunch of other infrastructure. So I do see a sentinel being used. I heard it, but I'm not sure where. Wonder if I can find it over here, probably to help defend against the raid. And Motoba also aged up, so maybe he wants to use Citadel Center on this town center to help protect it, or maybe we'll just sack it as well. I think the DoD guys really want to. He's losing the Valiant Bird over here. Citadel Center being used at home. Maybe they don't want to risk it, but I would have liked to if they used it here actually. Would have dealt a bunch of damage. So big fight over here. Ontarius already in from Alex. So now it's a battle of tech against well, the EVS guys are all still in the classical age and basically fully committing to this push. They are doing a nice job actually. They are they've cleared up this DoD army. Look at what a massacre over here, and now are starting to attack this town center. Does Leons have Rixtula? He does, so could have evacuated his pigs actually, but oh well. So once again, Leons will have to run for the hills to escape. But they are still ahead in terms of villagers, so there's a matter of patience. And he is still raiding with his raiding cavalry. There is a lot to be raided over here, so we'll see if they can continue. But the EVS team must be feeling pretty good about just about now. Yeah, I'm not sure if this would be the right target to attack really. Maybe you want to switch to this town center instead, because that's really low hanging fruit. But they are knocking on Motoba's doorstep here. Oh, is he getting towers? He is not. And it appears that a bit of a skirmish was going on over here. Because now there are only 4 raiding cavalry left. Oh, hey there, Korean barbecue. You're welcome. Glad you like the build order. So, it appears they're not going to double down on this push over here. And instead opting for a different approach. Maybe they are listening to my advice and moving towards this town center or towards Alex in general. We'll have to see. Oh, and because they didn't finish off these buildings, though, Leons get to do some revenge damage. He already walled up, so he's just gonna grab this town center back and finally finish all these pigs that are over here, these goats. Shockwave being used. So Motoba being caught out of position. And I did hear someone age up. Yes. Crazy Shooter is now in a heroic age to Hyperion, so they have a chaos at their disposal. And the Dark Soul is now also aging up through Aphrodite. So a curse. But at this moment they're really lacking siege. They only have 1 Elder Cyclops, so it's a bit awkward to push in this nicely built defensive position from Motoba. But here we have a nicely undefended town center, so this would be, yeah, I'm repeating myself, but that would be low-hanging fruit. And Leons is really getting the maximum value out of these raiding cavalry. They all have a bunch of damage done, so good job. And that's really what you want to do, because now there are like 11 Hippias busy defending and not being useful over here. Curse now used, I'm not sure where. Big fight over here. And I think this is in the favor of EVS actually. And Leons is happily grabbing his hometown center back, so that's good for him. Oh, these are Leons' villagers, so he's once again forced to flee. He thought he was safe here in between his allies, but nope. So Carnivora once again being used. And it's basically a 3 versus 2 at this point, because Leons can't really help with these fights. But Motoba is in a good position. Oh, he is running into a Carnivora and he is going to lose a bunch of chariots here. They are cleaning up. Chariots plus Contarius appears to be the key. But this town center did take a lot of damage, but did manage to finish it off. So the DoD guys managed to stabilize, also in part to these raids that happened all the time, because now, yeah, look at this, 13, 16 Hippias not being used offensively because they were used in defense. That's how you really even the odds. I do hear a fight somewhere, but I have no idea. Oh, at the top. Cleaning up. Take a quick look at the villagers. Duty still ahead, which is crazy considering Leons has lost a bunch of villagers. It's fortunate for him that he does have Rixtula. And, you know, Alex has been on 2 town centers for a while. As is Motoba. So I wonder how they will continue. I think the DoDs will want to go on the offensive at one point, but they're happily booming right now. They know that, they probably know that the enemies are all on 1 TC, so time is in their working in their advantage. And Dark Soul is once again pushing on Leons' doorstep. They might want to switch to that position. Let's look at what they have visioned. I'm not sure. They want to check for town centers perhaps, or gold mines. We'll see. Alex now helping out, taking care of this Dark Soul army. And let's take a look. We have Crazy Shooter going Mythic to Hecate. Interesting. Can imagine why, but then again I don't think... Yeah, both options are good, but I'm not sure what to think of Hecate, to be honest. And we also see Alex going Mythic, I mentioned, to Atlas, and there we have Atlas. And for the 3rd time, Dark Soul's army has been repelled. Well, he hasn't been repelled the 2nd time, but now he's up against a much larger army and he was on his own, so he is retreating back to his base. Over here we see Haltmakuts pushing with some Hippias, but I do like how the DoD guys defended their base. Their bases are hard to attack, but they will clean up this forward town center. Ceasefire now used. Not sure what. Maybe because of this army, or I'm missing something. Side build by Leons. Really like that. And Motoba also going to the Mythic 8 through Horus. I do like how he 8'd up through Anubis and then through Sekhmet. Does he have the Serpent Spears? He does. And does he have the Bone Bow? I'm not sure. I don't think he has any.
Into you.
He does. So really taking advantage of the 2 minor gods he has. Yeah, that's unfortunate. All these farms being wasted. Oh, what are you gonna do? Another vision. Probably trying to spot the enemy villagers. 2nd Citadel Center being used. You don't see that too often, because it's quite expensive to recast. But yeah, they are hardcore raiding Leons. You can't catch a break. Losing a bunch of dwarves on this side now. Tartarian Gate being used at the front. I'm not sure if I like this. But because now he needs to run from his own god power. I think a good spot to be used actually here on Leonce's base, or at the back here. Generally you want to use it between the forward starting town center and the backward town center. That used to be the best case scenario, but not sure what the range of these things are. But he has taken care of Alex's starting town center. So I think this game will now turn more into a traditional game where the flanks are attacking each other, both on the top and the bottom. Tartarian Gate has been taken care of. And Holtmarkus is happily running out with these Hippias. And Dark Soul once again pushing on the bottom. And Leon's aged up to Skadi. And Motoba now running all his spearmen up. Not sure if I like this, but well, at least he's distracting his opponent. Dark Soul moving up forward, stealing his Leonce's town center. So it's still a very close game. In terms of villagers, it's pretty close. DoD slightly ahead. And in terms of age up, it's also pretty close. But Leon's once again repelling the attack of the Dark Soul. And on the top, once again, Leon's being raided by Hippias. So I think he won't mind if the allies take this farming operation over here, because he's likely not going to use any of that anymore. Bunch of units being mostly used for defending. Toba now moving to the south, attacking here with these souped up spearmen. He got almost all Grades of 50, Spear of Horus, and Serpent Spear. I think there's one missing. No, it's not, because he aged up to Anubis rather than top. So big raid. Also pushing at the center with the chariot spearman composition. And that's really rough, because Holtmarkus has only cavalry, so he really can't take a fight against these guys. We really need something to help him with that. Tornado being used, taking a big chunk out of this army and dealing some damage against this town center. Motoba coming south and Holtmarkus coming south, so all the action is going south except over here. Crazy Shooter is pushing once again with Destroyers and Murmillo, but Alex is there to defend. So it appears to be a 2 versus 2 on the south side and a 1v1 on the north side at the moment. And I'm not sure if the Dark Soul can't really hold against it, if they both decide to push. I'm not too sure. Another Carnivora being used. Yeah, it is champion versus heavy Murmillo, but I'm not sure what the upgrades are. They are quite nicely upgraded for Crazy Shooter. Alex as well, so not that far behind. But these destroyers are really cleaning up. He's now running from the spearman, but that's also a bit of a distraction. Yeah, exactly. I would have liked Motoba to just join up with Leonce and push over here. Leonce is now, he took his forward town center. It appears that he gave this backward town center to Motoba, who's now on 4 town centers. But yeah, I think they're just gonna push over here, and there's not much Dark Soul can do to defend against this 2 versus 1. And Haltmakus can't really help here because these spearmen really eat up this Hippias, so he's just doing his best raiding. Matoba already has a selection of spearmen to deal with that. Ceasefire now used to help defense against this push. Yeah, what are you gonna do? If you can only make spearmen or Hippias, well, he is moving his defensive army over here to attack or to help defend over here. But I think it's too late. These should have been here before the DoD clan pushed. Leons is continuing his side builds. If he can trap all these villagers, that would be 14 dead villagers, so very good for him. Maybe they'll spot this earlier. This fight will continue. And oh well, all these spearmen are now surrounded by archers. That's not really how you want to approach this fight. I think, yeah, not the best fight from DoD, but they are plowing through. On the left side, things appear to have slowed down a bit. I wonder if Motoba or Alex has enough resources to help, but not really. He does have a bunch of favor though, so maybe he can make some... I don't know. What can he make? No, he can't make Scorpionmen. So it appears that DoD still is winning over here. I thought they were losing, but they were not. And the other side's pretty close. Crazy Shooter is still pushing, and Alex is still on the defensive. He hasn't claimed his town center back, so it's basically on one town center, and he is... Yeah, he's not really fighting 1 versus 2, but I guess it doesn't help that these Hippies are there to help. And he's now lost his main town center. Crazy Shooter's got a lot of time to make a crazy amount of destroyers. Let's take a look at his palace count. Oh, why can't I select all? Unless he only has one and he managed to make... No, he has multiple. He's 3, okay. So now he is moving back, so it appears that he likes attacking in waves with destroyers, or he is now using his sky passage to... No, he needs to defend against Motoba's attack. So Motoba switched sides to help his ally out, and I think Leons will now have to try to hold this position. He needs to fortify and build as quick as he can. Implode being used offensively. I do like this play by DoD for Motoba to switch sides and help here rather than push through on the other side. I think Leons has got this situation handled, especially considering Haltmakus was also moving towards the other side. So, big fight over here. Once again, yeah, these spearmen are a bane for these Hippies, so they can't really attack. Bunch of Hydra coming in from Haltmakus, so it appears that he really likes these units. He's also dealing with side builds. I guess this side build failed as well. Oh, it deals some damage. And bronze being used. Makes sense, there's a bunch of Hydra which are really tough when they're bronze. So big fight on the north side, and on the south side it appears that Leons is holding against this Greek push, although these Petropoli will be hard to deal with. So maybe he'll lose this position once again. But I think as long as you can keep the Dark Soul busy, then they should be fine, because they are winning on the north side. Chaos being used. More side builds. I do like it. They always cost more to clear up than to make, so I think they're pretty much always worth it. Leon's happily fortifying his position. Motoba claiming the center, moving out more and more. It's also now being gifted resources. Might want to sell a bunch of wood and buy some food so we can age up to the Mythic age. And I do hear a Titan Gate now, so Motoba maybe could have given his ally a bit more resources earlier, but well, better late than never. And someone just aged up. Or not. Oh, weird. So TC now down. I think he'll happily rebuild it once these Protopoli are dead. And Alex now moving into the center. Guess I don't want to play right into this fortified base where there's sentinel and towers and not. I think they could have also pushed here, but then again there's also a palace, so I like this. I don't mind this switch to the center. Also a trade route now starting. Motoba already has a considerable trade route, but I hear that Leons is also now making a trade route. Once again, side builds being taken care of. We have to see. Town center now down for Hold Makuts. I'm sure if that's really the best approach for these Marmilla to be used, but this is at least he's dealing a bunch of damage. And Leons is now, he really took care of this position, so I think he's fortified enough to be able to push. Mythic Age now coming in for Leon's tier. No surprise there. He was gifted resource, so that's a good team play. Really should help your teammates get to the next age if possible. I think Motoba's economy is quite insane at this point if you look at the score. So you can happily share some resources. He's grabbing all town centers, everything that can be grabbed he's grabbing. I'd actually want to make some mercenaries to help deal with this actually. Citadel, he used Citadel on Leon's town center. That's nice. I love to see the Norse version of the Citadel center. I guess he was floating, he had so much favor, so I guess you might as well use this to help. We could have saved for a second tornado as well, but I guess it really helps economically as well. I think, how long do villagers train when you have a Citadel with Ixtula? Can you see the training time? Must be shorter when you're training from this guy, right? Because you get the faster training villagers from this, and you have Ixtula, so it should be crazy fast. So, Fin Momentum now being used. Leon's pushing forward, and the first resign is coming in. So, GG. Great game actually. EVS really was ahead, but DoD really managed to be resilient and play for the long game and slowly creep back and get into a good position. So let's go to game 3. Welcome everybody to game 3 of EVSC versus DoD. Let's take a look at the map. map Steam Migration. And over here we have Leons playing Freyr on the left side. We have Wilfer playing Ranos in the pocket. And on the right side we have Alex playing Thor. And on the other team we have the Dark Soul playing Kronos. We have Crazy Shooter playing Oranos. And we have Holtmakut playing Poseidon. So I wonder what the strategy will be, because with Kronos you can do so many crazy things. You can shift your temple to the enemy home base and be annoying there. Heavy on water. And yeah, Oranos is always nice. I understand why both teams opted to go for Oranos, because you can make a sky passage at home, a sky passage on the center isle. And then whenever something attacks your home island, you will be able to defend it through the sky passage. So far, ships coming up from all three EVS players, and on the other side, the Alex opted not to make a dock. Yeah, I'm not sure if this... I guess you don't know where you spawn, because if you know that one of the players is not going to make a dock, then you probably want it to be the player on the corner. And not the player over here, because this is the best spot for fishing, because you get all this additional fish, and this is the worst place for fishing because you only get 6. So I'm not sure, but maybe if you queue up this map again, then the island will be on the bottom side, and yeah, I'm not sure. That's worth investigating actually for future science. Let's go a bit fast forward, because is doing a fishing opening, except for Alex, who is doing another opening. He's already making his temple. I think the plan was to grab the, control of the center early, so you can prevent any shenanigans from happening. Temple also from Leons. And Crazy Shooter now making his temple on the main isle. You see a villager by Holtmakut he made a storehouse just for this one villager. I'm not sure if that's worth it. Now he's making a dock. So he's really going on a fishing boom. He already has 2 docks, making a 3rd. And a temple at home. With 5 villagers, so that's quite something. So Alex already in the classical age. And Uller coming through for the Leons. And Cronus aging up through Prometheus. And Crazy Shooter aging up through Oceanus. And Wolfer aged up through Oceanus as well. So, let's see if anything crazy is happening. DoD is fortifying their position on the left. On the right side, honestly nothing much, just a huge fish boom happening. Oh, attacks being... I need to pay attention. So, a building's being time shifted in from the home base, I imagine, by the Dark Soul, and he is now putting pressure over here on Wilfor. But the... Yeah, Alex is there to take care of the Prometheans. Oh, I'm not sure if I like this play by the Dark Soul, because he's now really on his own against 3 potential opponents. This happened on the DoD A game as well, where yeah, one was playing 2 versus 1 for a very long time. So now Carabalista coming in to deal with these units, but yeah, you really need a meat shield in front of them. Still killed, one was killed. 24 now being used to take care of the second one, but not quite. Something is being deconstructed. Let's see if I can find what. The Temple of Leons. It was very late though. If he managed to kill one of these temples during Age Up, that would have been yeah, very strong, but sadly for them they did not do so. It appears that Crazy Shooter is now also moving to the main map, as is Holtmakut. Oh, it's basically 3 versus 3 on the main isle now. Except that Dark Soul is very far forward on his own. Chris is doing a very nice boom though, so making another duck, so that's really working in their advantage. DoD is cleaning up this forward position, like I mentioned. Yeah, okay, I could have imagined that this temple, to make this temple forward, just to get the Prometheans out, but I'm not sure why you want to have all these buildings so forward. So let's see how they'll continue, because I see no underworlds, so yeah, not so much shenanigans. Healing Spring now used, and I think it was captured. It was Alex's Healing Spring, but it got captured by Crazy Shooter because he has more units over here. No, that's unfortunate for them. The DoD clan appears to be in a good position. They're all set up over here. But I would have liked these houses to be made, at least some of them over here. Okay, managed to recapture the Healing Spring. Now, yeah, Old Macruz is, yeah, endlining units for them to die, so don't put your rallying point so far forward if you're on the losing side. Dark Soul now moving his buildings back. And it appears he gets the ability to do so because they're still busy fighting. Is Guardian Hillfort now being used? Yeah, you can see Alex is pretty far behind in terms of score because he isn't fishing. Would have liked him for, at this point, to make a dock here or here and grab some of that fish. But they're happily fighting at the center and moving and making additional stuff. Dark Soul does get the ability to just move everything back though. I'm not sure if I like that. So, Dwarven Mine now being used, I imagine, in the home base, yeah. I'm not sure if the army count is bugged or DoD is so far ahead that it's not even funny. Maybe that's the case. Dark Soul does have some. Army is grabbing forward town center. Sure, why he isn't time-shifting manners for... Yeah, he's busy time-shifting his military units, building spec, but otherwise he could have used the building speed bonus. Oh, Macruz is nicely building an army though, because he has a crazy economy on the back of this. But then again... Alex and Wolfer are waiting for him, and there are catapulties in this army composition, so this won't go well for him. Another carnivora being used, a bit premature actually. Shockwave being used. At the top it appears that Leons is taking care of Dark Soul's buildings. So it's very similar to last game where there's a bunch of hippies, but they are... well, you can't... That's really the case on this map. Like, normally you would send all these hippies and raid the opponent's economy, but they're on a different isle, so you can't really raid with them. You can only do like direct fights, or maybe you can pick off some straggler units that are in between. But there are some citizens nearby Wolfer, so maybe he could raid those. They really ought to make the sky passage here, and so he can help flee, but well. And Leons is just pushing further and further. He has a big death ball army, and Dark Soul has so little to help defend against this. And what are you gonna do against this, really? already has Rams. He probably got the upgrade for classical age Rams. Alex is now aging up to Skadi. And Dark Souls moving back with his transport ship, so he has to abandon island. And I wonder what Crazy Shooter is doing. Maybe he lost a bunch of armies, a bunch of units helping to defend their Dark Soul. He was out of position. Once again, Dark Soul losing buildings. He probably can. He should have time shifted them over here to begin with, but oh well. Leon's now grabbing a forward town center. I did hear someone, Alex, grabbed a second town center on the main base, on the main isle. In the Dark Soul now grabbing a town center, but that's already been scouted. So Leon's could have just made a few berserks from this longhouse and taken care of that, but maybe he's just busy. Kronos is so nice on this map actually. You can just make a dock and then time shift through from shore to shore, so you can grab the entire island basically. So Dark Souls is basically out of this game, and once Leons moves his death ball to the south and takes care of this, then the game should be over unless something happens now. Of course, going for a raiding angle, but all these catapulties will be happily to welcome the Scipius. Citizen now poking the longhouse. Why not? Old Makus now eats up through Dionysus, so he can do for he can go for a bronze push, but DoD does have access to frost, which will happily wait for the bronze to work out. Let's take a look. Leon's aging through A-gear, instant use of Tempest, double shockwave. Bronze now used. I imagine a frost here soon. At least if I were Wolfer, I would have spam clicked here to use frost. There we have frost and chaos on the other side. And another chaos from the other team on this side as well. So big army, but it does appear that that Crazy Shooter is holding up pretty well here actually. If he can just keep his Sky Ballista in this little choke point and keep them safe, and he should be able to hold this. The other side, Old Makut's army is being frosted. So that's why Wolfer gets to help out and kill a bunch of citizens. Here are a bunch of dying donkeys. But on the back of this, Leons is grabbing a town center. He's getting the Asgardian Hill Fort. Did he get the... yes, he got the discount, the Ring Oath. And they're now completely going through this base. And now Holmakruts is here to help. Yeah, let's see how much... if he can clear this up, or these Capeltis will do... He'll do so well in these choke points. Crazy Shooter would be doing his ally a favor by destroying this military barracks actually. So yeah, chaos being used again. Another home-based dwarven mine that's really nice of that god. Yeah, so DoD basically has the entire island under control. Like all these hippies, and you can't really make use of them because yeah, they'll just get dealt with. He is aging up through the Mythic age though, Crazy Shooter. So let's take a quick look at Artemis. I wonder what he'll use Artemis on. And he did make some boats. Not a bad idea either. As did Leon's. And GG. We have... So yeah, they realized the game was over, no point on waiting for Earthquake, because Earthquake wasn't really gonna win the game either. So, well played by DoD, and that makes it the 3-0.